Welcome to the video on how to use a darning needle to weave in ends. After watching this video, you'll be able to use a darning needle to weave in the loose ends of your own knitting work. Weaving in is an important part of a knitting project because it gives your knitting piece a more finished and polished look. I have finished the knitting portion of this piece that I have in my hands, and I don't want to just leave it like this with these two loose ends. So I'm going to weave them into the back or the wrong side of my piece. First, I want to thread the yarn through the eye of my needle. I'm using a bulky weight yarn for this demonstration, so it may take me a little bit longer to get my yarn through the eye. Oh, there we go. Next, have a look at the surface and the structure of the wrong side of this fabric. There are rows and rows of these wavy bumps. I like to call the bumps that curve up the rainbows, and the bumps that curve down the smiles. What you want to do is take your needle and thread it through a rainbow like this. Then you're going to skip a rainbow and then thread it through the next one directly on top of it. I like to go through 3 rainbows, making sure that there is a bump in between. And then I like to go down a set of 3 adjacent rainbows, again with a bump in between. And some people might stop here, but to make it extra secure, you can go through one more set. So as you can see, I'm always leaving a bump in between the rainbows that I go through. And don't pull too tightly, just enough. And now what I'm going to do is I'll take my scissors and I'll cut the yarn quite close to the last rainbow, but being careful not to accidentally cut the rainbow or part of my knitting piece itself. And that's it. I've woven in one of my ends. I just need to repeat the same process for the other end, and then the knitting piece is complete. And flipping over to the right side, if you have a look, you can't even tell where that loose end is. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to use a darning needle to weave in the ends. Good luck with practicing this technique on your own knitting piece.